Hey dudes, welcome back to Films Presents RC on YouTube. Paddy with you here again. What have we got out here? Traxxas Slash. The SD Slash. Now this is just had a rebuild, full going over. This was very kindly given to me by Gene Corezzi from Screaming Demons Moto Crew and Corezzi's Custom Paints. Now this has had quite a few modifications now. One thing I will say as well, I do apologise, I've not been uploading so many videos recently. I haven't been so good, but I'm going to get back on it soon enough. So this is a quick catch up. I've been doing this all off film. This is a Traxxas Slash, like I said, but not as you may know it. So this is a proper Frankenstein now. This is a Durango Dex 1.8 Racing Buggy CNC chassis. I think this is 6081. I'm not so sure. It could be 7075. I can't remember which grade of steel it was now. It could be 35 something actually. But anyway, by the by, a CNC chassis from a Durango Vampire SR1 Plus. So this is a race grade ESC, which is a 2S capable ESC, which is paired up to this. This is an LRP X, so it's a Vector X 20. So the 22 is the top model that they do. I would have preferred to get a 22 because of the strongest motor magnets in them. But by the by, this is a 9.5 turn X20. This was bought used in a job lot. This has had a full rebuild as well. It's had new bearings front and back, which is an absolute nightmare because I had to desolder the board at the back to get to the back bearing properly, because I couldn't get it out with a bearing pulley. You can pull there's a sintered 12.5 gram rotor on these, which is properly balanced from factory. You can pull them out to see the back bearing, but you can't actually get to it that well. So anyway, desoldered the contacts, resoldered everything back up. It's had new bearings in the front as well. It's running at the moment, if you'll notice, like a tool. What I did was I ordered the wrong spur gear. I ordered a spur gear for a non-center diff Traxxas Slash, and this has the center diff installed in there. So that's actually sat with an old Schumacher XTR 3E first gear spur gear there, which is a 32 DP, which is a 0.8 millimeter pitch on the teeth there. A new one is coming, but it isn't here yet. So to test, I've just gone with this 0.8 DP pinion here. It's got new shocks on here as well, big bore shocks from start to finish. These ones are the front of a Hebeo Truggy. You'll notice here they're set up at a slightly odd angle. It's had two new RPM arms on the front, 3 new drive shafts, and half a drive shaft on there. The other side didn't need replacing on the other half, so I just left that one in, kept the other bit of spare. It's had new bearings everywhere, so new bearings in the hub carriers, new bearings in the diff, new bearings gearbox sort of back here with the center diff sets. There's a couple of bearings there. Each diff has had a rebuild and a re-oil with 100,000 weight oil, so 100,000 weight front, 100,000 weight back. Obviously this diff here hasn't got 100,000 weight in it, that's got 50k in the middle. Poor man's tower to tower brace here on top, which is basically a bit of angle iron, aluminium obviously, because I wanted to keep this really light, which it is really light. Battery wise, what are we running here? We're running a Zippy. I got picked up 2 of these Zippies. So these are 2S2P race grade hard case battery for racing and stuff like that, because most places will only allow hard cases. Really decent battery these. I like the Turnigy batteries. I've had good experiences with the Super Sports and stuff in the past, so we went for 2 of these. They were also bought used. Everything was bought used, all on a budget. Still on the RX and TX that Scotty Napalm sorted out for me about a year ago. Thanks very much, Scotty Napalm. And yeah, that's about it really. I've just got to get the drop links for the rear sway bar here. We're not running a sway on the front at all. Wheel wise, what are we running? Now these little skinny SCTs here, so you see the size difference there to there. They're a lot wider on the rears. These are Proline Gladiators sat on here. These have just been told by Michael Funk of Screaming Demons Moto Crew, so thanks very much for that advice, Michael, that these are original, I can't remember what he said now, the team associated SC10B or something like that, from back in the day. So they should be fun to run. I have got a set of Schumacher mini spikes to put on there just in case, with another set of wheels, just in case these don't hold up. I'm hoping that the ballooning issue will now be tamed because we're running better oil, thicker oil, more viscosity oil. It actually spun most of its oil out the front diff, as I suspected. And that's why we're getting a lot of ballooning at the front. It may well chuck that oil out, but we'll see how we go on that. Seals have been replaced, but they don't last forever, do they? But it should give me a few months of fun before I need to rebuild it again. As you can see, nice chassis. I like these chassis actually. I've used these. The Kyosho and Losi use the same green tinted. I can't for the life of me remember what it was now, and I did used to know it off by heart, but can't remember what grade it is. But I'm sure it's not 7075. It's much lighter than that. It's got a magnesium blend in there actually, which means it's super light, but it's super strong. But it isn't cheap to get new, so if you wanted to get your own chassis cut out new, it would cost you a lot of money. I picked the chassis up for about 15 quid, brand new but used old stock. So there you go, can't really beat that. Looking forward to taking this out. Now, as I said, to test, we are sitting on a 13, which is very low because the motor's a 9.5 ton. So this is a 13 tooth pinion here, and the spur size is increased because we're running that bodged up spur gear, sorry. It's going to be down on top end because of how small a pinion and larger spur that we're running. We are going to be down for top end. I mean, this would be perfect setup for a track, for a little short course track, off-road clay or loose dirt, something like that. It'd be absolutely amazing at that. But like I said, you know, it is a slash, but it's a sort of a slash reimagined really. Not quite on the level of Celtic Carbon's build. I've just been checking out his before. He had a centre diff brace here, so he'd negated all this here. If you notice, actually, these are stock slash parts. They've just been butchered up with a Dremel to work on this setup. Oh, there goes the battery. They've just been butchered up to work on this setup. So if you can see, there's all stock slash parts here, motor mount and everything, and running gear, even down to the front here. These are stock slash parts. They would sit underneath the chassis originally. These. And obviously the steering bell crank setup in here and everything, and even the servo mount. Even the servo mounts come from a slash as well, so as you can see, it's triple bolted in at either side, so it's not going anywhere. But the original Traxxas servos lasted out quite well as well. Right, so I guess the only thing left to say is thanks for watching, and don't forget to check a running video which should be coming out soon. Not quite so sure what body to run at the moment. Found this old one, which is an absolute knacker really, so that will need stitching up or something if I was going to run it. But I'm not so sure yet, to be honest with you. I might find something else. I'm looking ideally for a rally body, because this is actually stock slash wheelbase. You notice we're still on the stock slash drive shaft there, and that's perfect wheelbase. Same wheelbase as a stock slash, which is 110 SCT, which is actually 1/8 dimensions. As we know, track and wheelbase is the same as 1/8 for a 110 SCT. So I'm looking for a rally body for it, which will be pretty good. So yeah, thanks very much for watching, and I'll check out the channel next time. There'll be a video uploaded of the running video, maybe even tomorrow if I manage to get out. I have to see how I'm feeling. But yeah, thanks very much for watching, guys. Really appreciate you tuning in and checking this out, and I'll speak to you again soon. Cheers, guys.